Please welcome Imogen Fielding, GSWA's Senior Geochronologist specialising in phosphate geochronology. Imogen is here to talk to us about dating, so get excited, it's geological dating.
Hi everyone. So before I start, I'd like to acknowledge the traditional custodians of the land on which we're meeting and pay my respects to their elders past and present, and also extend that respect to any Aboriginal or Torres Strait Islander people who are here with us today. So today I'll be talking about novel geochronology, or dating of non-traditional minerals or isotopic systems. And this includes things such as rubidium strontium dating of biotite and muscovite, lutetium hafnium dating of garnet. And this work's a collaboration between GSWA and the Timescales of Mineral Systems groups at Curtin University. And what we're aiming to do is try to better increase our understanding of the geological evolution of Western Australia. So for the past 30 years, GSWA's routinely been collecting geochronology data, and this is mostly uranium-lead dating of zircons, and so far we've published about 1,900 geochron records. Zircon geochronology is generally regarded as the gold standard of geochron, as it provides us with precise and accurate age information about the timing of igneous crystallisation and also max depositional ages on sedimentary rocks. And also during metamorphism, we occasionally get overgrowths of new zircon on existing zircon grains. So this doesn't always occur though, so for dating metamorphism, we've routinely started dating monazites. And these are great for dating metamorphism because they tend to grow and you can record multiple events in the one crystal. Okay. And also by doing it in situ, it allows us to date, link what we're dating to the petrographic context of the sample. So we can link the age information to the timing of metamorphism and deformation. So it sounds pretty good for dating metamorphism. However, we do have some issues with this. So if we're looking at zircons, we've got metamorphic rims on these grains up here in the dark. These tend to be quite high in uranium, and if you look on the reflected light image here, these rim zones, they're not very uniform. And this is because they've got damage from the radiation from the high uranium. And these zones tend to incorporate a lot of common lead into the crystal too, and it's not really ideal to date these. And monazites, during retrograde metamorphism, we sometimes get these alterations or breakdown textures of apatite and allanite, and these aren't very good to date either, or they start to get these inclusions of thorite in them. And in hydrothermal alteration and lower temperatures, the grains tend to be very small, and they also are pretty low in uranium, which makes the ages very imprecise. So to start to look at, we started to look at other minerals to see whether we can start addressing some of these issues when dating the lower temperature metamorphic events. So you can see uranium-lead dating of zircon and monazites, pretty high temperatures. So if we want to look at any of these younger temperature events, they may not be recorded in these minerals. So we started looking at rubidium strontium dating of muscovite and biotite. So new technological advances now means that we can analyse these using the laser ablation ICP-MS, which wasn't possible in the past. And this also has the added bonus of allowing us to do it in thin sections, so in situ. And I've got an example here. So we've got the fabric defined by the muscovite and biotite, and then this sample has a second generation of biotite growth in these porphyroblasts. So in a sample like this, it may be possible to record two different events in the one sample. And another advantage of looking at rubidium strontium dating of micas is that these are very common in a range of rocks and form over a range of different geological conditions. So far we've dated 63 samples for rubidium strontium dating, and this is either or biotite or muscovite or a combination of both, and that's shown in the green stars on the map. And I'll be talking about one example which is within the gap in the Aileron province over here, which is located at the West Australian Northern Territory border. And these rocks that I'll be talking about are from the crystalline basement to the Canning Basin. So this area is in the Gibson Desert and there's no outcrop at all. However, in 2012 to 13, EIS co-funded drilling saw 5 diamond drill holes completed at the Top Up Rise prospect, which is located up here. So Top Up Rise is a prospect which is sitting over a gravity high, and it's bound to the east by the Lassiter Shear Zone system, so this zone here. These rocks are all, we've got schists, gneisses, including leucosomes, metagabbros and amphibolites, and they've all been metamorphosed to lower amphibolite to upper granulite facies metamorphism. So these rocks have also been cross-cut by later stage shearing, which is thought to be associated with the Lassiter Shear Zone. So I've got an example here of one of the samples. It's a granitic myelinite, and it's got fabric defined by aligned muscovite. So what we wanted to know was whether we could date the timing of this shearing and also see if it retains the metamorphic age of the rocks. And this has been published by Bruno Ribeiro in Earth and Planetary Science Letters earlier this year, if you do want more information about that. So this sample here is a TEMA image, which is a mineralogy map of the thin section of the previous sample. And you can see the blue is quartz, purple's plagioclase, red's K-feldspar, and the pink's the muscovite. And there are 2 clear generations of muscovite in this sample. So first we have these coarse-grained mica fish here, and you can see them down here too. And then we've got a finer-grained recrystallised muscovite, which forms these shear zones, which you can see in the sample, wrapping around the porphyroblasts of K-feldspar and the muscovite. And we've dated both of these generations of mica. So first, the mica fish indicate ages of 1614 plus or minus 75 million years, and the recrystallised shear bands are dated at 609 plus or minus 14 million years, so they're about 1 billion years younger. Geochemical analysis of the mica fish indicate that they have primary magmatic composition, and this age is consistent with zircon ages for granitic rocks in the area, which are between 1624 to 1604 MA. And then the recrystallised muscovite has been recrystallised during migmatisation, and it's been partially reset to form this age at 609 MA, which is thought to be associated with movement along the Lassiter Shear Zone. And this age is also coincident with the timing of the 630 to 520 MA Peterman orogeny. So I guess the take-home messages are, if we start looking at some different minerals and isotopic systems to date, we can start to understand the lower temperature evolution of the state and see things that we may not be able to record if we're just looking at zircon and monazite geochronology alone. And this can include both deformation and metamorphism, and we also may be able to record hydrothermal fluid flow and mineralisation events as well. And also, if we start to look at multiple different minerals and isotopic systems to date, it is possible that we can record multiple events in the one sample. Thank you.